It's time for this week's episode of Brandon's Sports Talk.
Welcome back to Brandon's Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the SMSU's Mustangs head cheerleading coach, Anna Bonnstetter. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get into college coaching and cheerleading?
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to continue my cheer career some way after college. I didn't necessarily know that I wanted to be a college coach but I knew I wanted to continue in cheerleading in some way, and coaching is kind of the way to go. And Marshall High School doesn't have a cheer program, so I was looking for other ways to be involved, and I knew that SMSU had a program, and I knew some of the people that were on the team there. So that's kind of how I ended up getting involved. I just reached out and said I was really interested in coaching and continuing in cheer in some way, and they just happened to be needing a coach at the same time, so it really worked out well for me.
What was it like going to South Dakota to become a cheerleader?
It was a lot of fun. I loved cheering. At USD, I tried out and did not make the team the first time because the tryouts were the same day as my senior prom. So I sent in a video tryout, and I kind of knew it wasn't good enough. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to make it. But as soon as I did not make it, I just reached out to the coach and found out, what can I do? When is the next tryout? So that I could make the team the next time. And then I was able to try out for their basketball season, and that was really exciting to make the team at that point.
What was that moment like, obviously, that you said that you tried out but then didn't make it? What was going through your head, and what was that moment like when you did make it come basketball season?
Yeah, it was definitely really disappointing. I mean, I watched my video before I sent it, and I kind of knew, that's not the right level. That's not where I need to be, but I was still hopeful that maybe I would get a chance. But so it was definitely disappointing, but I knew that was just like a motivation to make it the next time and to improve so that I could be at the level that I needed to be when the tryouts did come back around. And so when I did make the team, it was really exciting, and I had a lot of people. I'm really lucky to have a lot of people who are like my cheerleaders, so they were really excited for me too. So it was a big celebration.
What were some of your favorite memories as being a cheerleader for SMD?
Um, there's a lot of memories. You make a lot of really good friends. Um, Cheering on a team, they're like your family. So when you're walking to class, you always have somebody to say hi to or talk to, which is the best part about being on any team. But one of my most memorable moments cheering was when we had our USD versus SDSU, which is like our rivalry game. And it went into double overtime. It was at home. The stadium was full. It was such a loud game. And that's the best part about being a cheerleader is like in those games, you have the crowd in the palm of your hand, and they're so loud and ready to cheer with you. So it was a lot of fun, and it went into double overtime, and we ended up winning. So it was really exciting.
What was the feeling like when you got to put on that cheerleading jersey for the first time?
It was kind of a weird feeling. Definitely something since I had been looking towards it for so long. I was really excited to actually get to put it on and take the pictures and share with everybody that, I had made the team. So that was really cool.
What was that transition like from you from going from being a college cheerleader to now becoming a head coach for college cheerleading?
Yeah, it was definitely a different experience to be on the other side and actually just watching other people and not actually doing it. And there was times where I was like, oh, I just want to go do it myself. I want to be out there with them. But it's good to be able to like bring that experience and help build an experience for them in college because it impacted me so much. So that's a really rewarding part of coaching.
How was that feeling like when you got that call that you became the head coach for the cheerleading team for SMSU?
That was a really exciting big moment. I knew I could do it, but I really wanted to have the opportunity because I am so passionate about cheer and I do want to be able to keep building that passion in other people because cheerleading really did impact my life so greatly. And I don't think that I would be where I am without it. So I wanted to continue to be able to build that. So it was really exciting to have a way to stay involved.
What was it like, obviously, with building up the program for the cheerleading program?
Yeah, there's definitely it's definitely challenging in a first year as a coach. Just not knowing, I didn't go to school at SMSU, so there was a lot of just learning and getting to know new people. And most of the team was all rookie. It was all their rookie year. We had only one returner, so it was all new. We were all kind of learning together. But that actually was one of the best parts about the end of the season was coming to the tournament games and seeing our rookie team against some of these more veteran teams, and we stood out just as strongly as they did. So that was kind of a proud moment for me as a coach and them in their first years cheering there to feel like they really did belong and that they really were, good college cheerleaders.
What are some things that you've learned as the head cheerleading coach that you didn't know as a cheerleader?
There's a lot of behind the scenes work. There's a lot of work going into like events and fundraising that you don't really notice that I had to put a lot of time in. And we did a lot of events when I was in college, but you don't really realize how much work the coach has to put in to make those events happen for the team. So that was kind of a learning curve.
During your short time, what are some of your accomplishments so far?
I would say just building up reputation for the team at SMSU. I really want to, that's one of my goals is to get it to be to a program where people want to actually come to SMSU because they want to be on that cheer team. And that's the team that they want to go to. And that's kind of why one of the reasons that I went to USD is because they had a great cheer program and I knew I wanted to cheer in college. So I want to build up a program that people want to come to SMSU because they want to cheer at SMSU on that team, not because it's a great school, but also because there's a great cheer program.
What does a typical game day look like, whether it's like on the basketball and football side versus a competition game day?
Yeah, so we don't compete. We just cheer basketball and football, but those game days, they're really long days. We start like an hour and a half before the game, warming up and making sure that we're ready to go with our game plan. And then it's a long game. We don't get a lot of breaks because timeouts are when we're doing our thing, and then we're obviously cheering throughout the whole game. So they're really long days, but they're really fun to be a part of, especially being right on the sideline. You get to see a lot of the action.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've built for the SMSU program?
Yeah, I've just been kind of trying to build confidence on the team since they are really young, and helping them realize that they are, they're college cheerleaders, and that's a huge deal. And it's something to be proud of. And sometimes that's hard because cheerleading isn't always looked out at as a sport. So sometimes they can get discouraged and feel like, they're not part of athletics when really they are. And they're, something that I want people to know and to help educate people is that, cheerleading is a sport, whether you want to believe it or not. Like they're incredible athletes and they do crazy things that most people could not do. So that's kind of just believing in yourself and being confident because cheerleading, it takes a lot of confidence, but it's a huge mental game too. So you want to make sure that they're in a good mental state.
What does the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to go into cheerleading?
Yeah. So we don't have like a crazy recruitment process like some athletic departments do because we're not able to offer scholarships right now, which is a goal that I have in the future is to be able to add that to the program because that would definitely help with the recruitment process. So right now it's really just sometimes students will reach out when they come for admissions visits and I will meet with them and just talk to them about the program and anything answer any of their questions and spark their interest, and then just give them information about tryouts and how that works so that they know kind of what they're getting into.
What are some things that you look at in potential cheerleaders?
Definitely a positive attitude is probably the most important part. They can be really skilled, but if you have a bad attitude, it has an effect on the entire team. And cheerleading is so dependent on your teammates. You have to trust them. You have to get along with them. So it's really important that people can get along with each other. And then just having confidence in yourself. You know, if you make a mistake, it's okay. Just move on. If we kind of say, fake it till you make it, just pretend like it didn't happen and maybe they won't notice. And really, most people don't notice when you make a mistake if you can play it off like that's what was supposed to happen.
Of course, what are some of the things that once they're coming out and going through the whole process, what is some of the things that you look at while examining, obviously, if they're qualified to be a cheerleader?
Yeah, so confidence obviously is important. Facials, smiling, you know, being part of cheerleading is performing. It is an entertainment aspect of the game. So you have to have both athletic skills and performance skills. So facials, and then all your motions need to be super sharp. We always say like, your arms should hurt after because you're squeezing them so tight, and that's one of the things in a good cheerleader. They know that their motions have to be sharp, and that is what makes them stand out next to other people. And yeah, if I can tell if you want to be there, if you don't. So if people are showing that, you know, they really want this, that stands out more than if somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm a good cheerleader, and they're cocky, then you can see that too. So just having confidence and being excited to be there is a really big part.
Of course, how big of a is it that obviously when it comes to the tryouts, that determines obviously who makes the team and stuff.
Confidence, is that what you're asking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that has a big factor. I mean, you can definitely be nervous. I mean, everyone's going to be nervous at tryouts. So I think it's just having fun with it is a big thing. Ultimately, tryouts are going to be judged by 3 other people. I just tally the scores. So it kind of depends on what the judges are looking for, but they all are experienced in cheer. So they all have been through tryouts, and they all know kind of what you're feeling, but they also know what, you know, a college cheerleader looks like as well. But we definitely want to bring people in who have the potential to grow, even if they're not at the level right that moment. If they can get there, like, we want them on the team.
What is it like, obviously, seeing those recruits obviously get to put on that cheerleading jersey and feel at home in the SMSU?
Yeah, it's really fun to see them when they're kind of putting on their uniforms and getting ready for games. It's exciting, like they're taking pictures and they're proud of it, and that's fun to watch as a coach, because I remember that moment too. So yeah, it's fun to watch them get excited to be a part of the team.
What are some of your future plans for the cheerleading program?
We definitely want to get fundraise for scholarships. That's kind of a big thing. And then just to grow the program in numbers. Right now, we're a pretty small team with just 10, and that's kind of been the average that the team has always been in years past. So something that I would like is to grow the team to be much bigger than that, and to possibly even have 2 squads in the future. That's a down the road plan, but these are long-term goals, but that's kind of what we're going after. And even doing competitions in the future would be a really great opportunity for us to showcase our skills on a national level too, if we can get there.
What advice would you give those high school cheerleaders looking to become college cheerleaders?
Go for it. I would say just try out and give it your best. And if you're looking at a school that has opportunities like open gyms for you to come to beforehand, definitely go to those so you can get the feel of what, you know, that team does, because with cheer, every single team does things differently. So if you can talk to somebody on the team, talk to the coach, or go to one of those events, I would definitely recommend that. That will definitely help you understand the style of the team that you're trying out for, so that you can have a better chance.
What advice would you give those college cheerleaders looking to go on the professional sports level, whether it's the NFL or the NBA?
Yeah, I would say very similar to college. You have to go find out the styles of those teams and make sure that you're putting in the work. I mean, it's not just going to be showing up to tryouts and seeing what happens. You're going to have to do prep before that. And I think that most athletes, train like you are already on the team. And if you do that, you have a much better chance of being a part of the team and them seeing the work that you've already put in.
What advice would you give those college cheerleaders looking to go into college coaching just like you did?
Yeah, I would definitely say start being a leader now on your team. Do what you can to be a leader and pay attention to what your coaches are doing. Do you like what they do? Do you not like things that they do? You know, there's different coaching styles, and you kind of have to decide the style that you want to bring. And then just whatever school that you may be applying to, what are your goals? How do you want to improve that program? Because every school is hoping to improve their program in some way. And just what ideas do you have to bring to that?
What advice would you give those future college coaches looking to get into coaching cheerleading?
Just be confident and go for it. I mean, your first year is going to be really hard. The first year is difficult because you don't really know what you're doing and you're just trying to figure it out on the way. But there's definitely going to be times where you think, well, I'm not a very good coach, but as the season goes on, you'll realize that, you are doing a good job and it's just a learning curve for everybody. But just be confident in what you're doing, and don't let those moments of doubt ruin your experience.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the SMSU cheerleading program at?
Yeah, you can find me at Anna Bonnstetter, and then you can find our cheer team at SMSU Cheer.
Thank you again, Coach Anna Bonnstetter, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the upcoming years at SMSU for the cheerleading program.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon. And you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Anna, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.